back to my whispering, and get back to my work again, back to basics, back to my basics again, trying to get her to relax. But at this time round, I didn't get anywhere. I didn't get a chance to finish off my my work with her, because the season was closing early because of the COVID. So I didn't get a chance to finish off my work with her to get her relaxed, because I didn't have that much time with her to finish with her and to get her to get back to get her to calm down, relax. I didn't get that chance with her to be able to get ease into my company, and that, because I didn't have that much time. I didn't have that many meetings with her this year to be able to get her to be able to work with her properly. So it was a bit unfortunate that I didn't have that much time. And I saw her a few times in the open stable as well. And a lot of the time she was asleep as well. A lot of horses, they seem to sleep quite a lot as well during the day, as well too. So they seem to sleep quite a lot, and they seem a lot of basking in the sun. They seem to relax quite a lot in the sun. They sleep standing up quite a lot. Sleep standing up and sleep lying down, whatever. So I don't get that much time either when they sleep to do all that kind of work, all that basic work. So it's a bit hard when they're asleep. But so that's where I'm at. Now I'm only going to do a few more, and then I'll stop, and then I'll do part 3. I'm just going to do the S's, and then I continue on then from the next part then tomorrow. I'm just going to do a few more, and then that's it. Now I'm going to Sibling Honor. Now Sibling Honor and I are best pals. I know her since 2017. Now I call her Sibby for short because it's easy for me to say because of my stammer. I have a terrible stammer, so I find it hard to say her name all the time. So I call her Sibby. So Sibby and I are big pals. She was in Goffs in 2019 as well. She was in the same breeder stock sale, the same sale that Olga Progressa was on, and she was on the ring, and they were going to sell her privately or something. The highest offer was €47,000, I think it was, and then they were going to sell her for privately or something. The highest was going to go up to 50,000, I think, privately it was going to sell for 50,000, and then thankfully we went back later on to check and see how she got on. Thankfully then she wasn't sold, thank God. She was free, she was saved, so she was back in the stud again last year. So I had a lot of time with Sibling Honor. I had loads of time with her, loads of time with her, a great time with her, with Sibby. Great, lovely interactions with her, lovely physical interactions, lovely intimate interactions with her, reading her cards, the lovely drunk chats with her, great times with her, very close intimate interactions with her, and lovely whispering. I did a lot of whispering with her, and lovely times with her, feeding her cards and everything else. I got some photographs with her. I'm very, very close to Sibby. Sibby and I are my best friends. We're very, 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 very close. We have a very, very close bond. Very, very close bond. And I tell you, I really do miss her loads. I really do miss her loads, you know. I really do miss her loads, so I do. I'm gutted now that I'm not there with her now at the moment, and really I'm gutted. She had a foal last year with Star Spangled Banger. Last year. I'm not too sure who she had a foal with this year. I can't remember who her next meeting is with. I don't know who she's meeting with, or whether she met with anybody. I don't know what her next meeting was after Star Spangled Banger. I'm not too sure who her next meeting was with, or whether she's back at the stud this year or not. I'm not too sure. Hopefully she is back at the stud this year. But she is. I think she's on. But she's owned by the stud. But her 7 Olga are owned by the stud. So I'm presuming she is back at the stud. So she's a lovely mare. And another mare who I have difficulty saying is Spring Eternal. Now she's another mare that I have difficulty saying as well because of my stammer. She's a lovely mare too, and I didn't have any associations with her. I only had a few hellos with her in the mare stables. That's all really, just a few hellos with her in the open stable. Well, not the open stable, the mare stables in the G'day yard. had just a few hellos with her. I didn't really have that much say hellos with her because when my speech, I wasn't able to call her name because of my speech. Couldn't say her name. I couldn't say her name at all because the double barrel names are very hard to say because of my stammer. So I couldn't really say that much associations with her. I had a few hellos with her. The hellos I had with her, they're very nice and very interactions with her, very nice. And Stubbins, I only met her a few times up in nursery 1. Now I got introduced to her first on Twitter. I got introduced to her on Twitter. She had a follow with Exceed and Excel last year, and I got introduced to her on Twitter. That's how I knew her. So on Twitter, and she's a lovely mare. Her name's Stubbins, and she's a lovely mare. I knew her from Twitter, and gorgeous mare. Lovely times with her. I was reading her cards and everything else. She's a lovely mare, and so she's a lovely mare, and she's a gorgeous mare, and so. Gorgeous mare. Forgot to mention another mare in the letter L, Lovely Pass. She was next door to a mare called Lovely Pass as well. Forgot to mention her name, Lovely Pass. She's a lovely mare too. Forgot to mention her name in the letter L, Lovely Pass. She's also a lovely mare, and she was wind-sucking. She's wind-sucking the fence quite a lot. And Stubbins was very nervous of her. Every time she made that noise at the fence, she kept kicking the fence. She kept kicking the fence quite a lot, and she kept making the noise, sucking the fence. She kept kicking her leg against the fence or shaking it, jumping around. Stubbins was getting nervous of her biting the fence and making all the funny sounds. Which is wind sucking. She kept making the funny sounds. Lovely Pass, she was making these funny sounds, weird sounds when she was wind sucking, and was making Stubbins very nervous. So Lovely Pass was also a lovely mare, but I didn't have that many socializations with her, but she's a lovely mare too. But that's not let her I forgot to mention her name earlier on. Now, Starbright, I know her a long time, Starbright. I know her a very long time now too. I know her like a long time, 2018, I think. I think it's too far back, 2017. I think it's only 2018 I know her, Starbright. She's a lovely mare too. She's a gorgeous little star on her forehead. She's a gorgeous mare. Gorgeous and lovely, and I always have lovely interactions with her. I always have loads of interactions with her, Starbright. She's a gorgeous mare, and beautiful mare. She's gorgeous. I love her to pieces. I do. I always have great interactions with her. Lovely chats with her. She's very lovely, close, intimate chats with her, and she's very, very friendly. Lovely. She's got a lovely character. Lovely character. She's a very, very gentle mare. And she doesn't even bite or nothing like that. Doesn't bite, nothing like that. Now there's another mare here that she was in the stud last year. She's an unusual name, Sword Half, and just feeding her cards with sibling on her up in the new path, up the new path up by the Living Legends paddock there. Just by the back of the Living Legends paddock there. This new pathway. And so the mares were up at the very back there, at the side near the path. By the path, we go up this path. At the very end of the path, the mares were over the fence. And sibling on her was there with this mare called Sword Half, and was reading her cards. And I couldn't get over the name. Couldn't get over the names. Sword Half. What's her name? Is that for a mare? Sword Half. Unusual name, Sword Half. She's a lovely mare though. She's a gorgeous mare. And one time, I actually mistook her. I actually mistook her once for Starbright. I actually thought it was Starbright one time, but it's actually Sword Half. I actually mistook her for Starbright one time. It's actually Sword Half. It's a stupid name, if you don't mind me saying. It's actually a stupid name, Sword Half. But she's a lovely mare though. And I saw her again towards the end before the stud closed as well, up in nursery 3, before we went up to the gate to go to the stallions paddocks, and we saw her by the side of the fence there, but she's grazing. We said I had a quick hello with her before we went up to the stallions, one of the days coming near towards the end before around March, before we went up the Stallions, and before we went to sail up the Stallions, and we sort of had a quick hello with her, and she's in there with another mare as well at the same time. And there's another mare now, Summer Spice, and this is a mare now that was in stud this year. She was involved this year. She had a foal this year with Elisa Pimpernel. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to see the foal. Fortunately, I didn't get a chance to get reunited with her this year. I was actually gutted I didn't get a chance to get reunited with her. I hadn't seen her since 2018. And I love this mare. I know this mare since 2017. Summer Spice. She has this funny trick. It's so hard when I'm not there at the stud. It's so hard when I'm not there. I really miss them all so much. It's so hard when I'm not there. I really miss them all, you know. It's really hard when I'm not there. I can't say hello to them, you know. Can't see them in the flesh, you know. I miss all the foals. I miss all the action, and you know, seeing all the new foals when they're born. Summer Spice was in the stud this year, you know, and gutted I never got to see her when you foal. They were very good pals. She had this trick. She'd come over to the bench, I get a quick hello, and then she'd turn around. She put her bum. She'd turn around. She put her bum. She would rub her bum. She would turn her back on you. She'd turn her back on you and rub her bum against the fence, side to side. And sorry for my speech there, apologies. And she'd turn and she would turn her back on you, and she'd rub her bum side to side. And because the reason that she'd do that is because she would expect you to. She would want you to. She'd be asking you for a massage. She'd be more interested in a massage other than a face other than a interaction, close contact interaction, eye contact interaction. To be fair, a massage on her bum. She'd rather you'd massage her bum, rubbed her bum. She'd turn her back on you, and she'd rub her bum on the fence. She'd turn her back. She'd turn her back, and you rub her bum on the fence. She's expecting you to rub her bum. This is her trick. This is what she used. This is what she'd always do. She'd turn her back, and she'd rub her bum on the fence, expecting you to give her a massage. This was her favourite trick, you see. I saw her at the end of August, or end of April, I think it was in 2018, this last time I saw her, up in the big paddock there, beside the Living Legends, the big paddock there, 2018. She's there, she had a foal that time with my friend, the late Ward had, and I called her, and she came over. She actually heard me calling. I said, Summer, and she's... The second she heard me calling her name, she's over at the fence. The second she heard the name, the second she heard me calling her name, the second she heard me saying Summer, her head went up. It's better. The second I said Summer, it's better her head up like this, you know. It's really, it's put her head up. The second I said her name, it's put her head up like this, and then she came over to the fence and said hello. You know, it's like nice hello there, and then she turned her bum against the fence, and she gave her a rub. So it was actually great time with her, Summer Spice. But sorry about my speech there, folks. Apologies. But yeah, but she's a lovely mare. So I really am gutted that I didn't get a chance to see her this year. And this year heartbroken, I never got to see her this year. Gutted now, Summer Spice. But yeah, so at least she got it now. So she's a lovely mare, but so I think I'll leave it there for now, folks, and I'll go to part 3 tomorrow. Thank you very much, folks.